Hello, this is Solomon Davis from Right Side Trading, where you can learn to trade on the right side with confidence. Today is March 6, 2021, and this is my weekly trade review. Today I'm actually going to be reviewing what I saw on the ES this week and the whole thing, what I'm going to be looking at. Are my tools working for me? I use a couple tools. I like using the pivots, and I like using stochastic. And this is something, like I say, this is all a review of what happened during the week. Am I using my tools properly? Am I the question is, are they really working for me? I had an okay week, but I should have been a better week than what I had. So I'm reviewing my tools, and I'm reviewing my tools on the ES. I know a lot of people like trading the ES. I do trade the ES also myself, the future market. And the thing, because it allows me to enter my trades, even before the market open. I can enter my trades when I see my entry, so that's what I'm doing. This is all for educational purposes only. This is not, a trade recommendation, because we all know trading is risky. Please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's jump on right over to the charts. Still going to be my normal review, but I'm just going to be looking at the ES instead of looking at the NASDAQ, because I know more people probably trade this than they do actually the NASDAQ, too. That's the other thing. And I trade it, too. And I'm getting where I want to see, do I really see what I see, on the ES? First of all, last month we had hit a resistance 2 level, and we've been coming down. Friday we got all this pushback and got this market where it turned green for the month. That's this month. Are we ready to go back up? If you draw a trend line down here, we kind of hit the bottom of that trend, that if this market was going down, and this market may be getting ready to reverse. But I'm only looking at weekly candles here right now. So the week looked like it might be good, but we still, we came down a little lower, right into the area where I was expecting to come down at, in this area right in here and all, where this market had pushed back out of and all. So see what's going to happen. But if we ended up breaking these lows down here, we can head, who knows how far down we can head. We can head way down here somewhere. But that's what I'm seeing on the big picture. We might be getting ready to get a reversal and head back to the upside, but we have to wait and see what happens come next week. Look really pretty strong on Friday, though. So let's go ahead to Monday. Are my tools working for me? I'm looking at the stochastic, and I'm looking at the pivots. This pivot right here is R2 level and all, and this is a R1 level. The market had been trading right along this level here. My stochastic didn't come all the way down like I like it to, but it did give me a red crossover here, still in this area, in my buy area. So if I was able to take this trade pre-market based on that, I would have been able to actually ride this thing all the way back up to this level here. And my target would be my pivot. So again, this ended up being a pretty good trade going all the way back up to here. But the thing that while I'm doing this review is to kind of like see, should I be taking these earlier trades like this? And even with my normal rules, I try to use my normal rules that I have: green candle up, but my stochastic is here at the top. That kind of gets me hesitating at times. So that's why I'm kind of doing this review in this way, to see the bigger picture that's actually happening in the market, and get where I can get these long runs in the market and all, instead of taking the smaller runs that I usually end up taking and all. So that was that day, Monday. So Tuesday, my red candle down, got a topping pattern up here, play it to the downside. My indicator also telling me there's a downward play and stuff. So take that downward play and all. Downward play played out really nice to the downside, play it all the way down to your indicator. But your target, a lot of times, the way I trade, is my pivot. So this thing came back up against me. Did it come back up against me enough to scare me out of my trade? That's the question. Do I need to see, can I get where my position size, one contract, and micros, can I afford to stay in that trade as long as it doesn't break this high or close above these highs, and ride it down to my target, then get out of that trade? That's what I'm looking at. Is that going to really work for me? Right here, my stochastic also didn't come back all the way to the top and all, it came in this hold on type area, and then came back down here and ended up getting me out of my trade and hit my target. I'm done. Next day. Wednesday, yeah, this is Wednesday, underneath pivot, stay under pivot. It's one of my rules. My stochastic, again, in this no man's land at open, looking to play it up and playing it up to pivot, thinking it's kind of basing and wants to go back up. That's kind of a fake out, you know, and it's still really in a no trade zone if you're not already in that trade. If you couldn't get really in that trade back here because it was really kind of weak and going sideways like. So it's really nothing going on until you got down to this area here. If you saw that, you wouldn't get into this trade until probably about this time. You got into this trade a little late. You know, you was looking for a bounce off this S2 level and all. You saw this big push up, and you might not have got into this trade until this actually crossed over. Crossing over, target back to pivot, and I didn't quite make it to pivot, but it came back up pretty good before it started giving you signals to get out before your indicator got here. If you got out here, a lot of times I get out before pivot, this pivot here, or if I got out, you know, somewhere in this area after my thing got up here, or latest getting out when my red crossed back over under my indicator here. Next day, Thursday is my tool working for me. I'm on the pivot, green candle up, breaking above a early resistance level at all. Can I trade that thing back up the pivot? I got it. The one thing that I'm seeing, I got to get in these trades early, or that's a no-play zone right now for an entry. No entry based on my pivot, on my indicator down here. No entry based on I'm not near a pivot or anything. I got a target up here, or I got a target down here. It's saying a target up here, didn't quite make it to that target. Reverse on me. You need to be out of that trade like right away. And that's a lot of points, you know. That's why, again, playing these micros kind of help you see this stuff and all. And even on the micros at 34 down to 29 or maybe 28 and saying, oh, this thing is not working on the long side and got to need to take it to the short side, it's hard because, again, a lot of the times you're not going to take this short trade until this thing here's way over here, right here where it crosses over. You're taking that short trade on this candle, and a lot of times it's down at the bottom of this candle and all. And then are you okay going from here down to pivot as your target and all? So that did kind of play out with the indicator, playing out with the pattern, and playing it all the way back down to pivot and all. And then the next best play, remember I used to have the next best play that I used to talk about all the time, is playing it back to the upside. You got a nice little pattern here, bouncing off of a support level, support one level, and going back to pivot and all. A nice play. So that's what I'm trying to look at and seeing how well does this thing work, and this is what I've been looking at here today. And I'm seeing something here, I think. Not a trade recommendation, but what am I seeing with my indicators? That's the same thing that you should do with your indicators and see how well they work for you. And here on Friday, the market was rushing up, thinking it's going to go higher. But soon as, based on my 5-minute rule, 5 minute was telling me it was going down. I can see I got a topping pattern. That's all I would have saw. A topping, thinking this might be a pullback and all. If it pulls back, how far is it going to pull back and all? Seeing red. So again, my indicator down here again, crossed over, rolling down, take it to the downside to pivot. And my indicator would have got me actually to pivot and maybe even through pivot and all with a play to the downside. Then it crossed back to the upside. There was a short play that would have faked you out if you were able to get anything on that. But then you were done. You're really done until this thing actually, it gave you an entry here. It didn't quite give you an entry here because I like them both to cross over. You didn't get another play until back here based on the stochastic. The stochastic actually crossed over, looking good, crossing over, and then would you have been able to hold it for this whole long run all the way back up? You're easily probably playing it up here to break this morning high, you know, but getting that extra little bit out of that trade, would you have set this as your target, this resistance one level? Again, that's all I really want to share today. That's what I'm looking at now with my indicator and looking at the other future products that are out there, looking at the ES. I also will be looking at the Russell. I'll be looking at the Dow, and I always love trading that NASDAQ. Again, this is Solomon from Right Side Trading. where you can learn to trade on the right side with confidence. Talk to you later. Bye.